What is going on, everyone? I think we should be running live now. I'm just gonna double check with my other browser right here to see if you can hear me well, if you can actually see me, and if I have to adjust anything to do so we can proceed forward. But of course, just like what we do every time during those live sessions, we're going to check out euro dollar, pound dollar. We're going to have a look at gold, maybe some other pair as well. But I usually do those live sessions in the early hours of the day, meaning the London session. Right now, I've decided to give it a try and do one during the US market. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, I'm going to have to quickly send out a couple of messages here and there to let people know that we're actually live. First, I'm going to start off with the free Telegram channel. If you haven't joined yet, make sure to do so. There's going to be links in the description below this video if you're not watching this live, or if you are live, just check out the description down below. Links in the description below. Okay, I think not watching this live, or if you are, I need to fix that immediately. So let's see. Okay, which one is it? I'm not sure, to be honest. So let me test that. Is that better? It's not this one. All right, I'm gonna do a mic test very quick to see if that's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right. Okay, so let's quickly send a message in the free Telegram channel. I'm also going to do that on Twitter and Facebook as well, and then we're going to proceed forward with the analysis, see if we actually have some setups to work with. I'm going to grab the link right now. So I want to see if there's going to be more people joining in the US session, because sometimes we don't really get that many people during London, and I can imagine it's because it's probably very early hours depending on where you are. But what I do is the early sessions I do at 8 a.m. London time. So I'm not really sure how is that according to the audience that we have on our channel, but this is what I'm trying to find out. I'm also sharing a link here on our Facebook page. Yeah, quite a lot of bullish momentum since the beginning of the week on the majors, and that was obviously expected. We already said that. It was actually also mentioned in our free email list. This is where every Monday we are sending out our trading ideas and setups on euro dollar, on you know on gold, on Bitcoin, and there's also a top trading opportunity for the week ahead included in that email newsletter. So for the past couple of weeks, I think we did pound dollar just because it was quite obvious where the market is trying to go. and it was bullish. So whoever managed to catch some really nice long trades, well done for you guys. But we are currently at levels where I think we should be looking to close our positions to reduce the risk and not to actually try and open more trades and kind of chase price, hoping that we're going to make more money. Okay, especially if you've already made money in that uptrend that we have on the majors, it's probably best to now reduce your risk significantly. So just keep that in mind. It's a good piece of advice. So especially if you're not that experienced, these are the things that you're only going to learn with experience, because you're going to have successful runs in the trend where you may be able to profit from that trend for a certain period of time. But if you don't know when to stop, you might end up giving back all the profits that you've made back to the market. And this is something that, it just doesn't make sense, right? You've put in the work, you went through so many emotions trying to catch some moves in the trend. You also managed to do it. So then it just doesn't make sense that we're going to give back all the profit back to the market. So, you know, what I would say is, look at the higher time frames. You even if you're trading the lower time frames, even if you're a scalper, a day trader, looking at the 5 minute, the 15-minute time frame, I think the best thing you can do is to always have long-term targets, on each instrument that you trade. So what I'm trying to say here is that, if you, let's say you are using the Fibonacci expansion, just like I am, okay? So in this case, you're going to be looking for, let's say, targets based on this swing move right here. What am I doing? I need the fib expansion right here. So let's say you are basing your target on the Fibonacci expansion. So we are approaching 1.19. Let's say this is our long-term target. Now, as soon as the market comes near 1.19, this is where we should know that it's probably time for the market to have a retracement, or maybe a pullback, or maybe price is going to slow down. It's, you have to be reactive with whatever price is trying to give you, because it's good when we have such a strong bullish momentum, and it's kind of easy to trade price action whenever it's like this, because even if you don't have enough of pullbacks to look for decent high risk to reward ratio trades on the higher time frames, you can always drop down to a lower time frame and then try and take advantage of those impulses, and it will work, okay? But the thing is, at some point there's going to be a resistance or a support level where price is going to hit that level, and it's going to start hovering around that level. Maybe it's going to slow down, start trading sideways, or it could also give you a retracement. And if you look at the higher time frames, we haven't really had a decent retracement recently. All right, obviously we've got this one, but we are looking at the most recent price action, and again, we are in a strong bullish impulse, right? So anyways, I went on a little run right here, just a little bit kind of off topic, because I wanted to actually go through some of those setups that we currently have. Now, if I have to be completely honest with you, I don't really like current price levels, just because we are quite high, and for me it doesn't make a lot of sense to enter a long trade at the peak of price action. Okay, obviously in order for us to buy, we want to get a cheaper price. Okay, I mean, these are the fundamentals, right? But we are currently trading around 1.3760 here on pound dollar. Okay, now we've recently completed this target, 1.3760, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I should probably grab my pen very quick, so let me do that. Just waiting for it to load. Here it is. This is what I'm talking about. We were waiting for price to hit 1.3760. Okay, now we've had this massive momentum right here, and we're talking about a move of roughly around 380 pips, okay, without really a single correction within this move. I mean, we do have this type of price action, but this is not really a pullback, is it? So we hit 1.3760, then we had a bit of a pullback right here. We're coming back to the previous highs around the same level again, and as you can see, we are still trading around that level. So for me, it would be very risky to look for continuation of that trend. Overall, when I'm talking long-term ideas, yes, I am expecting for price to continue this uptrend. Okay, but before that, if we manage to get, you know, a kind of a deeper retracement right here, let's say at least a retest of those previous highs, that would look much better in my opinion compared to current price levels. Okay, what else do we have? Obviously we have euro dollar, where I would love to see 1.19, but are we going to see 1.19 right away? Or are we going to see a pullback forming up before we get up to that 1.19 level? Okay, because if we're going to get that pullback, this is the daily time frame, I would be expecting for price to retrace to about 1.16 first. And we are currently trading at 1.18. So what does that mean? It means that we can see quite a significant drop in price here. And even if that happens, this does not mean a trend reversal. Right? This is very important because a lot of people will get it wrong. And as soon as they see prices gathering some bearish momentum, so they will start looking for selling opportunities. Whenever you have an uptrend, especially an uptrend like this one, a very well defined, clear, and strong uptrend, there's no point for you to look to sell. Trust me, this is going to improve your results a lot. Okay, a lot of people actually make money trading, but why they're not profitable is because they give all the profit back to the market. And that is because they have too many losing positions as well. They may have a lot of profitable trades, but at the same time, they have same, if not more, losing positions. And combining, this with not so much of a good risk to reward ratio in each one of your trades, well, this is a recipe for disaster. Okay, it is literally as simple as that. All you gotta do is have a strategy where you have a positive risk to reward ratio, at least 1 to 2, at least, or 1 to 2.5, and then also, try and have as high win percentage as you can. And obviously, that the higher risk to reward ratio you're aiming for, the lower win rate you're supposed to have. So anyways, what I'm looking for right here is again the same thing, just like with pound dollar. I would love to see price reacting to around current price levels or maybe slightly higher, and then I want to see a significant drop right here. This will tell me that this is the beginning of a correction, of a pullback. Okay, so what else? Maybe a lot of you guys are here because of gold, and you know like I said in the beginning of the session, I do like using the Fibonacci 2. So I was looking at this Fibonacci level, the 61.8, $3,247 mark level. Okay, and what we said, and that was actually um, when price was testing the 61.8. If you look at the 1 hour time frame, so we have a retest of the previous low. We also have a test of the 61.8, and we've been talking about price retracing down to 61.8 for quite some time. And throughout that whole time, I didn't enter a single short trade, even though I was expecting that the market will push down. This is what I'm talking about. Even if you think you know what's going to happen, you should stick to your plan. And so my plan was to look for long trades because we are in a bullish trend. So that's why I didn't take a single sell position right here within this bearish move. Eventually price got down to the 61.8, and looking at the 1 hour time frame, this is what we have. So we have the first rejection, we have a second rejection, and what I do like the most about this setup is that we not only have a test of the 61.8, but we also have a strong rejection, taking out all market participants who managed to enter a long trade here. Because where would they place their stop loss? Just below that rejection wick, right? So then they got stopped out, and price then immediately shoot back to the upside. as we were trading down here around 3,260, and I'm talking about as soon as we had this rejection right here, we sent a video in the premium Telegram channel saying that from current price levels, we're most likely going to see a bullish continuation. So as you can see down here, we were trading around 3,260. We are currently trading around $100 to the upside. Quite a decent move. And if we look at the daily time frame, ideally I want to see the daily candle closing above this market structure right here as it is right now. If it closes like this is going to be a really good confirmation that we're most likely going to see a continuation to the upside. And just have a look at price action here on the daily time frame. It looks pretty decent, doesn't it? I mean, we have consecutive higher highs and higher lows. We did trade sideways for a bit without creating any higher structure, but then, you know, with the rejection off of the 61.8, 3,240 level right here, with that rejection, we now have a confirmed higher low. So obviously we are expecting for price to continue higher. And again, you should only be looking to buy within this market. Now, usually whenever I don't have a good enough opportunity to, you know, potentially enter a trade on the majors, let's say, for example, euro dollar and pound dollar, I would then have a look at euro yen and pound yen instead. Because sometimes you may have setups on both, but I would always choose euro dollar and pound dollar over euro yen and pound yen. But you know, there are cases where you don't have a good enough setup on the majors, so then you have a look at euro yen and pound yen, and this is where you may have, you know, pretty decent price action to work with. Now, this case right now is not one of those cases. I mean, I'm looking at euro yen and pound yen. To be honest, pound yen is looking kind of alright. Um, but you know, we are currently pushing down pretty strong, so there's no point for me to start looking for buying opportunities right now. If I have to be honest, it actually looks like we're probably going to continue a little bit lower. Then, you know, I'm looking at euro yen. We have this equal structure right here. So ideally I want to see price coming down lower to at least take out this equal structure. And then later on, we may be looking for a reversal. But first, we got to see, all right? First, we need the confirmation. Then we're going to be looking for trades, for entries. Right now, it's just an idea, okay? And by the way, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think, guys, will happen with gold? Is it actually going to go up? But, you know, we're just about to take out this previous high. So hopefully we then see some pullback, and then we're going to be looking for a continuation to the upside. So as soon as we start seeing that a pullback is forming, what I'm going to do in this case is, again, I'm going to pull up the Fibonacci 2, drop it like that, and maybe look for the 38.2. Okay, so that makes quite a lot of sense. To be honest, I do like this previous structure right here, so maybe we can drop down as low as 3,300. I'm not sure if we will do, because, you know, since we tapped into the 61.8 right here, we saw a pretty strong momentum to the upside. So we'll see how it goes. Now, when it comes to fundamentals, this is also very, very important. First of all, it's already a new quarter. And whenever we tend to see, you know, deeper retracements in the market, or, you know, a new move forming up, we're talking about long-term moves and stuff like that, they usually happen at the end of the quarter, the beginning of a new one, just like it is. It is 1st of July today, okay? Also, we have a day off for the US market on Friday because it's 4th of July. on Friday. So that means since it is the first Friday of the month, we were supposed to have NFP, non-farm payrolls, right? But because the US market is going to be off on Friday, they've moved it to Thursday. So actually, on 3rd of July, we have NFP. Quite important news. So that combined with the new quarter, this is why I'm so cautious about the setups that I'm looking at and the long-term ideas that I have. So whenever we are in a situation like this where we don't really have good enough levels to open our trades at, but we do know what's going to happen next, or at least we've done our analysis and we see that the probability is on our side, but at the same time the fundamentals are pressuring us, the best thing to do is to just stay away from the market and observe price action, see what it does, and once you have a clear market direction, a clear setup as well, this is when you enter. Otherwise, you just sit on your hands, and this is probably the hardest part for many people. But like I said, all of that comes with experience, and it takes time. A lot of people think that you're gonna learn how to read the charts and how to spot key levels, and you're gonna have a well-defined strategy and all that, and then you're done. You're good to go. You're gonna start making money right now. But it's not that. Most of it's emotions, and all of that comes with time. It doesn't matter how impatient you are, you're gonna have to learn how to be patient. So that's definitely one thing to know. What else? I was also looking at Euro Pound this morning, and same thing here. If you look at the daily time frame, I really wanted to see price tapping into that 61.8 level. I'm talking about 0.8590, and we are currently trading exactly at this level. So are we going to see some rejection in the upcoming days? This is what I'm trying to find out. So Wednesday and Thursday are going to be very important for Euro Pound. All right, we want to see how the pair is going to perform during the news on Thursday. But if we get some sort of a reaction and then we see that the market is, kind of pushing down, that means our long-term targets are probably going to be this low down here. Remember, this is the daily time frame that I'm currently looking at. So if we're going to be expecting such a large move to the downside, what does that mean? It means that we can drop down to, let's say, the 1 hour time frame, for example, and we can start following the trend. We can start looking for selling opportunities. Right now, half of our job is done. We know what is the market direction. We know whether we should buy or sell. So that eliminates half of the bad trades that we're going to take already. Okay. And then the rest is just technical analysis. It's basically what kind of confirmation you use for your entry, how you define your key levels on the chart, and and then you just start following price action on the way down by only selling, not entering any long positions. This is how you get good results in trading. I would love to know, what do you guys trade? What kind of instruments? What time frames? Do you currently have any setups? Remember that you can actually send me a message, a private message with your setups, and I'm gonna check them out right here on the live session, and then I'm gonna give you my feedback. So if you are struggling with anything, if you are frustrated why your strategy doesn't work, take advantage of those live sessions, because this is the only time I'm gonna do it. Otherwise, you've got to be in the mentorship program in order for me to review your trades and tell you how you can potentially improve. If you join the mentoring, that's fine. We'll do it for the next 12 months. But otherwise, the only way that I'm gonna do that for you is during those live sessions. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna send you a link uh to my chat. It's gonna be on Telegram. This is the best way to contact me. But right here in the chat box, here it is. This is my link. You can click on that, and then this is where you can direct message me. So when I was talking about long-term targets, every time we have a new impulse with a bit of a pullback, we place the Fibonacci expansion. So if we are looking at the daily time frame, right? Let me just um, hide that for a bit. First, we had 1.3675. That target was smashed. Then we have 1.3860. Okay, we haven't yet got up here, but I am expecting that at some point we should reach that level. Before that though, we have 1.38, and you can see as we were approaching 1.38 on a few occasions already, price has rejected those higher levels. So if you look at that on the 4-hour chart, this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, so 1.38 may turn out to be a strong resistance for price. So it may take a little bit longer for pound to break above 1.38, but once it does, then we're going to be looking at the next target, 1.3860, then eventually 1.40 as well. Anyways, before that though, we need to focus on current price action, see what we currently have, right? It's the same thing with gold. Even though I am expecting that price will continue higher, there's no point, especially if we're looking for those short-term trades. There's no point to enter a long trade right now. If you are trading, let's say the daily chart, and you want to enter a trade here with a stop loss below the 3,250 level, that's fine. Even though I would say a really conservative stop loss would be around 3,100, okay, below this previous low. To me, this right here is the major low. It's not this one. Because what will happen if, let's say, technically we break below this equal structure, but then we reverse? It is still going to be a higher low than this previous one, right? So we're still going to be in an uptrend. For me personally, this is the way I see it. Because I was expecting that we may actually break below the 61.8 as well. So if we're talking about major levels, daily time frame, this is the one, this right here. So let me place a price label on this previous low, 3,120. And by the way, whoever is asking me about the volatility expert advisor, this is the EA that I use to trade mainly gold, but not just gold, also the majors. All right, it's not exactly a fully automated system. I would say a semi-automated system, but it definitely saves you a ton of time. You don't have to, look at the charts all the time. You can just set it up based on your analysis. This is the best thing about it. It works with every strategy. But whoever is asking me questions about this, here is the page. All right. So make sure to check it out. It's on our website, trendlineforex.com. So I'm going to paste the link right here. And you can check it out. You can see what it's all about. And we also have a completely free course on how the system works. All right, all you got to do is to sign up on our website, and then that's all. You then get access to the course itself right here. Let me see where it is. I think advanced. No, should be yeah. This one right here. So you get 20 video lessons explaining everything from A to Z, how the system works, and what kind of strategies you can use with it, how much money you can potentially make with that system, and stuff like that. All of the information that you need in order to start using the expert advisor in a profitable way, everything is right here in this course. So make sure to check it out. Okay, there's videos explaining what it's all about, how it works, what is the logic behind it, because it's a completely different way than trading manually. We all know about manual trading. This is exactly what we do when we are trading manually. We have to stay on the charts and we have to observe price action, see what kind of signals we get, and then we have to manage our trades. But with the expert advisor, it's pretty different. I mean, you have to manage the expert advisor itself, but you will be able to execute trades in a completely different way. So if you want to learn more about this, you can also check out some of the my most recent videos here on this YouTube channel. You can see what kind of results we get, and yeah, like I said, all the information is in the free course. So for example, if that may be a little bit easier for those of you who don't know what the expert advisor is. Let's say, for example, you are waiting for price to give you a retracement to around the 61.8 in order for you to enter a long trade, right? So when you're trading manually, you have to wait for this pullback, which usually takes a lot of time, long time. Then you have to wait for price to tap into that 61.8, right? Then you have to wait for your entry signal. If you don't get your entry signal, you may just miss the entry. Then you have to decide where to place your stop loss. Okay, most cases we use tight stop losses, which means we can easily get taken out, and then we have to re-enter that trade again. All right, then you have to decide where your take profit is going to be, and then you have to observe price action and see how it goes. But what will happen if, let's say, you enter at the 61.8, price goes in your favor, it then comes back down to retest again, the previous low. In this case, you are at break even. What do? Do you close your trade or do you let it run? Okay, and if you let it run, again, it can happen. The same thing can happen again. I mean, it can take you out if your stop loss is anywhere below your entry, which you probably will, and then it can give you another entry confirmation. So in this case, you already have a losing position, even though you are right about the market direction. So it becomes more difficult for retail traders, especially, to carry on trading exactly the same way and expect not even better but the same results. It gets more difficult to do that. So how the system works is, as soon as price starts with the pullback, you can select a zone. So let's say you are expecting that around the 61.8 level is where you'll see that reversal. So let's say with the expert advisor, you can select this zone right here from the 50% level down here to the 76.4% fib level. So within this area, you will tell the expert advisor to start loading up positions. Okay, and so let's say you can tell the EA to open 100 positions in this range. Okay, and you can still use the same risk. I mean, this is going to split your risk into 100 different trades. So if you are trading manually, right, and you want to see price testing the 61.8, but let's say it doesn't, let's say it comes and it reverses just above the 61.8. Well, if you are trading manually, you basically miss the entry, right? You now don't have an entry and price is already trading higher, so you've missed that trade. Okay, at the same time, if you're using pending orders, for example, you may set a pending order at the 61.8. The market can drop down a little bit lower, okay, takes you out, hits your stop loss, and it then reverses. Again, if you're trading manually, all of those disadvantages will happen at some point. But when you have a zone like this, you can basically enter position at any level in between those two levels. I mean, in the middle of the zone, right? Or the beginning or the bottom of the zone. So even if price doesn't pull back all the way down to the 61.8, you still manage to get into some trades. And by the way, you can also set it up to move that zone as price is moving higher. So if let's say we continue trading towards the upside, you can still the expert advisor can still carry on entering more trades because this zone will start moving as well. So there's many different ways of how you can set it up. Like I said, it works with pretty much every strategy. It can be used on the higher time frames. You can also use it on the lower time frames as well. You're still going to be using a stop loss even with the expert advisor. This is not a high frequency trading bot. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. It's a different style of EA. And like I said, you can learn more about it in the free course. A lot of people are asking questions, haven't even seen the free course. It's mind blowing, literally. I'm sending them a link to watch a completely free course. Don't have to pay a dime to watch the videos within that course. And they're still asking questions which are covered in the content of the course. It looks like we get some reaction right here around the 50% fib level, but I still think we are going to see price action coming lower. So I'm not yet ready to enter any long positions here on the yen cross pairs. Euro yen doesn't even look that good. I definitely need to see at least one more dip to the downside before I enter here. But you know, if that happens with the yen cross pairs, that may also happen with the majors anyway. So in this case, I would prefer to trade the majors instead of the yen cross pairs. But ideally, gold is the one which is probably looking best to me right now. But again, I need that pullback. I cannot enter a long position right here. I mean, if I enter a long trade here, where do I place my stop loss? It's gonna go below the 3,250 level, which is, you know, we're talking about more than $100 of a stop loss. So why would I do that, right? Instead of that, I just gotta show some patience, wait for price to give me a bit of a pullback, then I want to see the reversal, and then at this point, I can then enter a long trade and use a significantly smaller stop loss. And this is how you get a positive risk to reward ratio on your setups. It all comes down to patience. Yeah, and to be honest, pretty much all of the setups that I'm looking at are currently pending. I don't really have entries on any of those instruments. If we've got to enter a trade right now, this is what I'm talking about. But like I said in the beginning of the session, whoever managed to catch some moves in this uptrend, well done, because we've been talking about, price continuing the uptrend from before that, right? And some of the members have already sent me some screenshots and told me that they managed to catch some moves, and this is the whole point of the premium channel. You get videos every single day from Monday to Friday, you know early hours of the morning before the market has opened. You actually get the videos to be prepared for the day ahead. You will know what to expect, you will know in which direction to trade, and not just those instruments that I'm looking at during the live sessions, but also this is my full watch list right here. Hi, Elsa. So, you get information about all of those instruments. As you can see, we've got most of the majors, pretty much all of the uh, cross pairs as well. We do look at gold, even Bitcoin. So I know most of you guys are trading gold anyway. We do look at gold setups every single day. I am doing, live sessions twice a week, every single week, but it's just not enough if you want to take trading seriously. Getting updates on the setups that I'm looking at here during the live sessions, getting updates on those just twice a week is just not enough. What do you do the rest of the time? You will get confused, right? So that's why the premium Telegram channel is very beneficial for those of you who are trying to, take their trading to the next level. Just imagine how much easier trading would be if you know whether you should buy or sell every single day, right? What do you mean inform the Forex trading session? I don't get it. Can you rephrase your question, please? Do you mean inform the community about the Forex trading sessions that I do? I did. I did send a message in the free Telegram, didn't I? Explain the session trading. Right, not really sure what you mean, mate. Okay, I do like the pullback on pound dollar though. Um, yeah, I'm still not keen on entering any trades here, but a pullback like this is at least something, right? When you look at euro dollar, we don't really have that. But as soon as we go back to the upside, I'm expecting that there's going to be more momentum in the pound. And so earlier, when I talked about euro pound and the potential setup that we currently have on euro pound, this is exactly the reason why I think that we may actually reject the current price levels, the 61.8 fib level, and then head back to the downside, because I'm expecting that once we have again euro dollar and pound dollar trending to the upside, pound dollar is going to be stronger. There's going to be more momentum in it. So even if euro dollar keeps climbing up, but the pound is stronger, it's performing better, then that means we're most likely going to see bearish price action here on euro pound. And by the way, euro Aussie is very similar to euro pound. which session is the best for make profit? I understand this question now. It really depends. I don't know where you're from. You've got to look at your local time zone, and I wouldn't suggest waking up at night just to trade. There's no point to ruin our lives just to kind of trade a certain session, right? But trading during the London session or during the US session is the best time to trade. Outside of those sessions, you just don't have that much volatility, you don't really have that much volume in the market. So focus on the hours while the London session is open and also the US session. Okay. So that means, like I said, I don't know where you're from, but UK time, that means from 8 a.m. and then 1 p.m. or half one, whenever the US session starts. This is where, and this is London time, okay? In between those hours, you're gonna be fine. Then from 1 or 1:30 p.m. again London time until, like, I don't know, 4:30 p.m. In between those hours, again, you're gonna have more volatility, you're gonna have more volume in the market. And also during the US session is when you get most of the high impact news as well. Yeah, well, convert that in Indian time then. But also, like I said, the most high impact news that will affect price action will happen during the US session. So it's a very important session. I may start doing more US live sessions rather than, um, London session, because until now, I mean, if you have a look at my YouTube channel and then you go to the live sessions window, you'll see how many of them I've done. Quite a few, and not a single US session. This is literally the first one that I do, but I may start doing more of those US live sessions. Just because we're going to be able to observe price action during news and stuff like that. Even though I personally do not trade during news, if I have a trade, uh, hi Sonia from Montenegro, that's amazing. That's great. What is your local time right now? What time of the day is it in Montenegro? But when it comes to trading during news, I wouldn't suggest that. Now, if you, let's say, have a long term trade which is open, I wouldn't close it just because we have news, right? But I would probably kind of try and go break even by the time the news are coming out. But just waiting for the news to come out in order for me to make my entry, I don't do that. Which time frame is the best for analyzing forex trading? I love your questions, man. Well, again, I can't give you a straight answer. I would definitely say a top-down analysis, which means using multiple time frames. So let's say, for example, you start off with the daily chart, then you have a look at the 4-hour time frame, and then let's say the 1-hour chart as well. Or if you want to simplify it, what you can do is you can only use, I mean, there is a strategy like this. You can use the daily time frame, the 1-hour time frame, and then the 15 or the 5 minute for your entry. Oh, that's great, Sonia. That's not too far from where I am currently. I mean, I'm only 1 hour ahead of you, so it's currently nearly 4 p.m. over here. But yes, back to your question, Elsa. When it comes to best time frames to analyze and trade forex, I mean, you've got to use multiple time frames. It's not only going to happen with one time frame. Let's say if you want to take your entries on the 15-minute chart, you still should know what is going on the higher time frames, right? Because if you're only looking at one time frame, you wouldn't know in which direction the market is moving and where are the key levels, right? So let's say daily, 1 hour, 5, 15 minutes, or you can use the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour to make your entries. Today is not so much of an active day, but sometimes because I'm only doing those live sessions for about an hour, sometimes we do actually have some setups occurring during that 1 hour. So I would be looking at the 15-minute time frame. And but when it comes to my personal trading, I rather stick to the 1 hour chart when it comes to entries. But see, for example, this is what I'm talking about. So I have this Fibonacci retracement level here placed on the 4 hour time frame, right? Let me give you a quick breakdown of the setup that we had on gold, and that setup was shared in the premium Telegram channel as well. So we've got the 4 hour time frame right here. Obviously, we know we are in an uptrend from the daily time frame. So here is the daily time frame, a very long-term trend that we currently have. So we know what is the market direction. So now we're only looking for buying opportunities. From the daily chart, I drop down to the 4 hour chart. Okay, I can see that we have this most recent low and this most recent high. I place my Fibonacci retracement right here, and I'm looking at the 61.8. Now I'm looking at the 1 hour chart. Okay, we have a rejection at the 61.8. So if I'm not happy with this entry right here, I may then drop down to a lower time frame, say for example the 15-minute chart. All right, I'm giving you a real example of a top-down analysis using multiple time frames. So we already know that we have this rejection on the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart right here at the 61.8. Then I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. Okay, so we have bearish price action right here, and then we have price changing direction. So we've broken above this most recent structure right here. We come back for a retest, and then we've got the continuation higher. In this case, your entry would be right here. Okay, and also again, even on the 15-minute time frame, you can still use the Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, so we break above this previous structure, we have a perfect retracement to the 38.2 level right here. Okay, we have a rejection, second rejection, third rejection. By that time, we should have gotten into that trade. All right, so where do we place our targets? Again, instead of the retracement, we now can use the Fibonacci expansion tool. From point A to point B, then we've got the point C, the end of the pullback. We have first target completed, second target completed, and now third target completed. This is a perfect A plus setup using multiple time frames, all right? And all of that was shared in the premium Telegram channel. So this is how the premium Telegram channel actually helps you. It not only gives you the market direction, but also potential trade levels. So anyways, I may be ending this session soon. Share market versus Forex trading, which is the best? Market versus Forex trading. All right, give it another try, mate. I need the same question rephrased in a different way. Do you mean a comparison between stock market and Forex market? I don't get it. Is that what you mean? I don't know. I don't trade stocks, so I'm not really competent about this topic. I don't want to comment on that. I only trade Forex. Gold, I don't even trade indices. I don't trade crypto. When it comes to crypto, I'm only looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, nothing else. Guys, if this is your first time stumbling upon this channel, all right, checking out one of my live sessions, make sure to subscribe to this channel because I'm doing live sessions twice a week, every single week. Okay, so make sure to subscribe. There's going to be another one on Thursday, but the one on Thursday is going to be uh, an early session, meaning London session, just because I have to uh, travel later that day, so I can't do a US session this week, another US session this week. It's going to be a London session again on Thursday. But then next time, I may come back to the US market, see if we have any opportunities. And by the way, I mean, I am expecting high impact news by the end of the week. So right now, I'm really not. I don't really think I'm gonna have any good setups until then. Maybe after this week, meaning next week, we may have a little bit more movement. And more setups on the line. Right now, I do have setups, but I don't have entries, right? I mean, we're still far from our entries. All right, here it is. The pullback continues on pound dollar. It looks like we are now in a pullback on euro dollar as well. But this is only the 15-minute time frame. So I definitely need a significant move right here in order to consider it a pullback on the higher time frames. Otherwise, it's pretty much nothing. During the live session, Sonia, it's mainly euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold. Okay, sometimes the yen cross pairs as well. But that is only when I'm doing live sessions. Okay, in the premium Telegram channel, you will see me, analyzing each one of those pairs right here, meaning euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, yen cross pairs, euro pound, euro Aussie, gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum. All of that is in the premium Telegram channel. But on the live sessions, yes, it's mainly euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold. Um, because these are the most popular instruments. So if I only have an hour during the live session, it's probably best to spend all of that time on the most traded instruments, because the information is going to be, it's going to relate to everyone out there. Most of the people are either trading euro dollar or gold, or maybe both, or maybe even some other instruments, but there's always euro dollar or pound dollar or gold in their watch list. So that's why, most of the time, we're looking at euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold during the live sessions. So I think guys, this is everything for now. I'm gonna end it right here. I did give you some insights from the premium Telegram channel, share with you some of the setups that I'm looking at. Don't forget about euro pound and euro Aussie. Like I said, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next live session. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description below this video. Join the free Telegram channel. This is where every single day you will get an update on euro dollar. Okay, and because it's the most traded major instrument, it's also positively correlated with other major instruments such as pound dollar, Aussie dollar, so you will know what to kind of expect, when you know what is going on with euro dollar already, if that makes sense. Wonderful, love it. See you next time. Thanks, Mihail. See you next time, buddy. All right, I'm gonna end it right here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Trade safe, trade smart, and always look at your risk and look at the economic calendar to know when news are coming out, to basically know when to stay away from the market. This is very important, probably one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you. I do trade full time, and I work with people like yourself who want to trade full time. I'm doing live sessions. Like I said, we're running Telegram channels, this YouTube channel. Just check out our website, man. We're a team of traders. I'm not on my own. So we're a team of traders. Just have a look at our website. You will see a lot of free content. So this is what we do all day long, every single day, right? We've got a blog post completely for free, blog articles on different topics. We've got a Forex dictionary. So for those of you out there who are still struggling with the Forex lingo, we have explained every term that you're probably going to hear in Forex courses or any Forex content that you look at, that you watch. If there are some terms, words that you do not understand, everything is covered in our Forex dictionary. It's on our website, trendlineforex.com. You can find it right here. Useful Forex dictionary, and then you can just type in whatever you're looking for from the search bar right here. You can search by topic or in the alphabetical order, whatever it is. We also have a very rich blog section on our website. Most of those articles I've written myself, as well as the rest of my team, and we also have some free courses as well. Uh, how many years of experience in Forex? Well, I started back in 2017. All right, so that's about 8 years. But yeah, quite a few questions this session, which I'm really happy about. So keep up the same spirit, guys. I'll see you in the next session. I would love for you to join again, and keep asking me questions. I think this is how we're going to be helpful to other traders who are also uh, are trying to learn more about trading. I'll see you guys in the next live session.